Hello everyone, welcome back to Huntress Imaging. My name is Diana Pearl McNutt, founder slash technician. Today is rather a blustery, cold day here in Reading. Maybe some thunder and lightning, fingers crossed, later on, get a little entertainment. Yeah, this is what my self-isolation has done. Anything and everything is entertainment at this point. Well, because it's such a cold day, I thought we'd curl up by my boarded up fireplace and I will tell you the story of the game show that is getting a Tier 1 startup visa as a recent graduate. Spoiler alert, it is nuts, it is insane, and quite worth it in the end, obviously. So let's get started. How does this work? Well, first, you need an endorsement. Second, you need to get the UK government to give you the visa. Alright, before though we start the actual game show, I think I'll give a little background on why I decided to do this in the first place. The Ides of May last year, so about a year ago, and I was just in this resting state of panic because I had turned my dissertation in the month before, and it wasn't until June that I would get my final marks back on my dissertation and for my degree. So yes, resting state of panic, especially since my visa was going to expire 3 months after I graduated. So I needed to get my butt into gear and figure out how I was going to stay in this country because, well, my heart will always be in San Francisco Bay Area, because that is where I was born, where I was raised, but I've fallen in love with England. And I know this is going to sound weird to a lot of people in the UK, but I've also fallen in love with Reading. It is an incredible city. I love it here. And for me as a Californian, having a medieval church just outside my window, yes, from 1245, is one of the coolest things ever. I mean, in California, our oldest building is from like the 1700s. Yeah, 1700s. So I was panicking, but I was looking for opportunities to stay. So I was working in the Allen Lab 136 at the archaeology department, just lending a hand to Sarah, and my friend Ferencia was next to me. She is, even though we've been apart for so long, she is my co-conspirator in many research projects. And she's a PhD student originally from Argentina, so she's really in the same boat as me. It's one of these ordinary, everyday little things that always turn out to be the turning point of your life. I was in the office, I got the ding of an email, and it was from the University of Reading Careers Department, saying that they were going to have a talk on that day about how to stay in the UK after you graduate as a non-EU student. So I turned to Ferencia and I'm like, hey, you want to go to this thing? She's like, yeah, let's go to this thing. And off we went to the Edith Morley building, or HUMS as it was formerly known, the Winchester Mystery House of buildings. I have been here for over 3 years and I get lost every single time. So we did get lost in the building, finally managed to find the room, and we settle in, the presentation starts, I'm taking notes, but I am extremely distracted because Fiona, the presenter, has the most adorable guide dog. It was just this big lab that just was staring at me, and I was trying so hard. I was just so... Anyway, she was talking about the basic things that you normally think of, like work visas and masters and everything like that. That's not really what I wanted. Then she said, oh yes, and there's this new visa that we're offering here at the university called the Tier 1 startup visa. Like a light was shining down, like it was like a sign. It was a sign, it was an intervention, it was something. I don't even know what the word is. Someone come up with a word. Someone can come up with a word for it, just put it in the comments. It was perfect for me. I could stay in the UK for 2 years. I can essentially start my own business, work freelance, and continue my research into computational photography, 3D modeling, and photography in general, and heritage, and archaeology. I would be mentored by the Henley Business School, and I could really get a foundation started for my business and then let it grow from there. Now, the problem is that there's only the universities and organizations that are allowed to give these endorsements or these visas are only allowed about 10 a year, and the nice gentleman from the Home Office told me only about 750 of them are issued per year. So obviously there's a lot of scrutiny that goes into allowing someone to get this visa, and that's why it's like a game show. I set up an appointment with Jurek, who is a absolutely lovely man, and I hope wherever you are, you're doing okay. I get there, I explain to him my idea, who I am, and why I think this will work. And he's like, yeah, this is good. Go ahead, fill out an application, send it to me, and we'll get the next stage started. So I get the book that they recommend for creating your business plan. I go to Cafe Nero, which is like my home away from home, because most of my dissertation had to be written at the Cafe Nero. So I'm at Cafe Nero, I get my coffee, and I start writing up my application. Now this application, it's not just a few paragraphs. No. It is writing down a full business plan, as I said, but also justifications, budgets, startup costs, where you're going to get your loans, what is your entire network of people that you know that could help you. So I did one of my patented Diana mind maps that one supervisor actually told me looks like weird ranting scribbles of a insane person. And I managed to kind of get that crazy and put it down into my application. I sent it off to Jurek, and waiting for the committee to look at your application and then give you a yay or nay on whether to go forward. Exactly 40 minutes after sending in the application, which I was not expecting this, you've got mail. I opened it and it goes, you are good to go on and do the pitch. Yes, round 3 is a Shark Tank Dragon's Den style pitch. You have to get up in front of the committee and prove to them why this will work and what this business is. Unfortunately, that pitch meeting was going to be after my visa expired, so I had to travel all the way home, so about 8,000 kilometers or 5,000 miles, all the way over, and just stay there for a week and then come back. So when I come back, this is where we get... Yes, this bonus round was absolutely one of the most terrifying experiences. I had 2 days, well, less than 2 days until my pitch. I go up to customs and immigration and I hand over my passport, my old BRP card. I tell them, I'm doing this pitch job interview style to get an endorsement from the Henley Business School for a Tier 1 visa. I have a confirmation email if you need it. She flips through my passport, looks at me, and just starts asking these rapid pace questions. And I'm just I'm starting to freak out. I mean, my brain's mush after 12-hour flight. She just looks at me and says, I can send you home. You know I can put you on a plane in 1 hour and send you back to where you came from. Give me one good reason why I should let you stay. I have this pitch thing in 2 days. Please don't send me back. And she's just whacks down my passport and sends me off. I put jacket on, I put on some heels, I feel nice and tall, although because I'm barely 5'1", it's more like I'm suddenly average height. Head off to the Henley Business School. I do my pitch, although it was very odd because Norbert had to Skype in for it, and when Norbert's voice was like coming like from above, it was very weird and slightly distracting. But I get through my pitch, then it's question time. And the fire alarm goes off. Yeah, the fire alarm. We all shuffle out to the car park, and they're like, oh, let's just continue your questioning here. That's my brain was just like, I go, oh god. And like, I went into some sort of like survival mode where like everything shut off and I just answered their questions and got it done. I was so excited. I was just, okay, it's done. And they informed me, okay, we've got 24 hours and we'll give you your decision. So I get a pizza, I go home, I watch Project Moonray in my gym jams in bed with my pizza, just totally indulge myself. I get, again, a "You've got mail." And I open it, I read it again, and then I read it another time, and then I freak out. I jump up, I start dancing around my bedroom, I call my parents, I'm like, oh my god, I got endorsed! And they're like, oh my god, you got endorsed! Everyone was freaking out. But that's just the endorsement. Next comes the government, which wasn't as actually bad as I thought, considering there's a giant banner on the top saying there might be issues of, like, on the Home Office website, of how we have an increased amount of applications due to Brexit, so we can't guarantee you any time frame on when your visa is going to go through. So what you have to do is go online. You have to answer all these questions. You know, you're not a danger to society. You're not a terrorist. You actually have to click on a box saying I've never committed genocide or war crimes, which is kind of a disconcerting experience. And you pay your NHS fee up front. You set up this pay appointment to go into a Home Office immigration kind of building thing. And that was oddly on Halloween. And I go in and it's like DMV style, although it's not as like the absolute hellscape that is the California DMV. That no one should have to go through, including the employees who work there. But I get sent into the biometrics booth, which kind of reminded me of like Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey, because it kept like, I can't do that, Dave. I could not look neutral. It took 6 tries to make my face look neutral. But I go in, I get sent back, get taken back to another officer, and they're like, is there anything you need to disclose to us? I'm like, no. And they press the button, and off the application goes. So that's how I got a Tier 1 startup visa. I would really recommend this visa to anyone who, once they graduate, want to go freelance, because, you know, if they don't really want to do a traditional route of getting another degree or working in a workplace. Alright, so that's my story. That's how I got to be here in Reading and enjoying my view of my church outside. And I look forward to doing another video. Like, subscribe, comment. Oh Lord, my brain is so dead. I am definitely getting takeout because, oh god, I might be losing it. Might be losing it. Alright, see you next time, guys.